What's up everybody, G here, VP of Content, fitnessinformant.com, here today for a review. We're looking at SuperHuman Sleep from Alpha Lion. It's no secret that we are big fans here of Alpha Lion. Their SuperHuman line is pretty much taken over. We sent one of these out to our reviewers and he gave us an honest opinion on it. So I'm not gonna waste your time. Let's get into the profile, taste, mixability, effectiveness, value, and let you know if we liked it or not. Let's go. So starting off with the profile, SuperHuman Sleep is obviously a sleep aid. It starts off with a ZMA blend along with some other minerals. They do use some high quality forms of minerals. Magnesium biglycinate chelate, also known as TRAX, is the first thing that pops out to us. So it's good to see them using a high quality form of magnesium. Magnesium has a lot of benefits on its own. It can help with muscle relaxation, which is one reason why you find it in a lot of sleep aids. This is broken down into separate blends. We're gonna start off with the amino growth matrix, which is essentially glycine and tryptophan. Glycine at 3 grams is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. This has been shown to help with sleep. It's in a lot of sleep aids these days, and for good reason. At 3 grams, it stills very well. Nice to see that. Tryptophan is a precursor to serotonin. Serotonin is your happy hormone, and it's very well known to help with sleep, and at 1 gram, it stills quite well. Next up, we have the ZMA recovery matrix. Already went over that, but essentially zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6. This is actually no surprise. It's pretty much in every sleep aid or just about all of them. Moving on, we have the HGH matrix. This starts off with 2 grams of glutamine. We've seen glutamine in sleep aids before. We're not big on the ingredient itself unless you have like stomach issues or you're a burn victim or something like that. Moving on, we have GABA at 350 milligrams. GABA is another inhibitory neurotransmitter. At 350 milligrams, this is dose low compared to what we've seen in some other products. And there is some debate as to whether this crosses the blood-brain barrier. Next up, we have Mucuna at 175 milligrams at a 40% standardization. Mucuna has L-DOPA in it. L-DOPA is a precursor to dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. At 175 milligrams, this is debatable on the dose, especially with the standardization. We've seen better. We still like the addition of it. So next up, we have the Tranquility Matrix. This contains chamomile flower at 75 milligrams. There's no standard dose for this, so we can't say whether or not it's underdosed or dosed well or not. Still, we like the addition. Chamomile does work. Have you ever tried chamomile tea? Come on. Next up, we have melatonin at 2 milligrams. Melatonin is the caffeine of sleep aids. That's what we like to say here on Fitness Informant. If melatonin is in a sleep aid, it's most likely going to have some effect. 2 milligrams is a solid dose. Melatonin has a wide range of effective dosages, anywhere from half of a milligram to 10 milligrams. Can work for anybody. So that's great. Next up, we have the anti-stress matrix. This starts off with KSM-66 ashwagandha at 200 milligrams. Ashwagandha does have an array of effective dosages as well. However, we like to see this a little bit higher, simply based off of a lot of the studies that we've seen. Either way, KSM-66, 200 milligrams, not awful. We still like to see it at 300, 600 milligrams. Next up, we have theanine at 200 milligrams. Theanine is great to help curb anxiety. You see in everything these days: sleep aids, fat burners, pre-workouts, nootropics. 200 milligrams is a solid dose. It's on the higher side, but you kind of want that before you go to sleep. This is going to help calm you down before you go to bed. Sometimes too much anxiety can keep people up, so that's why it's in here. And finally, you have the absorption matrix, sodium, potassium, and estrogen. Estrogen is a solid ingredient, 50 milligrams as a clinical dose. This can help with absorption. Overall, the profile is pretty good. Some ingredients we'd like to see dosed higher or better standardization, like the Mucuna, for instance, the KSM-66, maybe the GABA even. But other than that, it looks like a solid option. Either way, did it work? Let's find out. So we like to break down sleep aids into 3 categories: getting to sleep, sleep quality, and the morning after. With getting to sleep, that was probably the weakest part of this product. It was not the best at getting our user to sleep, or me, or Ryan even. Not that it prevented us from getting to sleep, it just didn't have compared to other products we've tried, that it factor where it kind of knocks you out or really makes you want to go to bed. You can fight through this and stay up. Some sleep aids, you can't even fight off. You'll just immediately pass out whether you like it or not. This one, you can fight it off. So there's that. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily. Still, something we noticed. As for sleep quality, that's probably the best part of this product. When you do get to sleep, you get some crazy vivid dreams. You definitely notice, you wake up and you're like, God damn, those were some dreams I'm not going to share. You sleep great. You feel well rested. So that part, it did well with on SuperHuman Sleep. So if you don't have problems going to sleep, if that's not what you need, if you just want deeper, higher quality sleep, then this is going to be a good one to look at. As for the morning after, nothing really to comment there. Didn't seem to have an effect. If you're lazy, don't like to get out of bed, you're going to stay that way. If you wake up in the morning ready to take on the day, this isn't going to hinder that either. This one is fine. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't hinder you from getting out of bed. However, it's not one that's going to make you want to take on the day the second you wake up. So overall, yes, it works. However, compared to some of the other products that we've tried here recently, over this past year. It just, it's on the weaker side compared to those. Still, it's effective. Still, with that said, it is still effective. There is a noticeable difference, just mainly in your sleep quality, not necessarily getting to sleep or waking up in the morning. Now we get to taste. We have the Slaughtermelon flavor. This is a watermelon lemonade. The flavor is really good. Usually watermelons, we're kind of over them. However, this the lemonade addition to it kind of makes it enjoyable. It's not a Jolly Rancher. It's not even a candy watermelon. It's just enjoyable. The combination does it well. It's hard to describe, but we gave it about an 8.5 out of 10. It is good. Not overly sweet, somewhat refreshing. You gotta try it for yourself. Now we get to mixability. So for the most part, it does mix well. You're gonna see me put it in a shaker cup, mix it up, and pour it out. There are some floaties. That's what we like to call them here. But if you shake rigorously enough, you're not gonna have any issues. Not much to complain about. Not the best mixing thing we've ever had. Still pretty good, not much to say. There you go, taking a look at it. Let's move on to value. So you can get SuperHuman Sleep for about $45 directly from the Alphaline website. That'll give you 30 servings, so that's not a bad deal. Coupon code informant saves you about 15%. It is a very fair deal. While it's not the strongest on the market, there are stronger products out there. It does get the job done, and for the money, it's worth the price, especially since it's not like at that $2 range that you see some of the other sleep aids on the market at. So overall, SuperHuman Sleep, not the strongest product in their line, not the strongest sleep aid on the market. However, it is effective. You do get some great sleep quality, some very crazy vivid dreams out of it. The taste is good, mixability is good as well. It's just not the best at getting you to sleep, and it's not really gonna affect your morning after, which can be a good thing for some. Sometimes sleep hangovers suck. Value is fair, and this is actually something that we would recommend you try out for yourself. You can get a good deal on it. If it's on sale, use our coupon code, whatever you want to do, it might be worth trying out for yourself. Superhuman or Alphaline in general, they make some good products. This is a brand supported. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the Twitter, check out the good review on the website, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and